So, the Superman costume has now been revealed in all of its glory, although we'd already seen it, in fairness. This is now seen on set location, and yeah, it's pretty mixed. The response online has been pretty damn mixed. People are like, hey, look, it's cosplay, man. There's cosplay better than this. Why is it so baggy? Why does he look so fat and frumpy? Why did he bother working out when he looks like this in a suit, etc., etc., etc.? Look, the images are pretty bad. All right, this is Mr. Terrific's ship as well, I would imagine, because that's pretty comic accurate. The sort of round ball thing, and realistically, there's a lot of photos here. You got Lois Lane, James Gunn, obviously, but you've got Superman, you've got Mr. Terrific as well. Mr. Terrific's really comic accurate, and so the
really
costume.
Good. Yeah.
Costume is, in fairness, very comic accurate, but does it translate to live action? Look, I'm going to say no. I'm not a fan. I will say this: if you look at, say, Black Panther costume without visual effects added, it doesn't look great. It looks like this. It looks real bad. But I will say this for anyone saying this is a loose costume and they're going to fix it in post. They shouldn't have to fix it in post. They should do what James Bond does. James Bond, Daniel Craig's James Bond, had two suits. He had one which was loose for doing all the stunts in, so he only wore it for the stunts, and then had a tight one which was for everything else. They should be the same.
Yep.
This is why we have superhero movies which are so bloated budget-wise, because it's we just fix it in post rather than being smart. And these costumes are expensive. They can be like 10 grand, right? They can be really expensive, but just make two of them. It's cheaper than VFX. So just make two. Make a tight one, make a loose one. What do you guys think? Because at the end of the day, I think it's too garish. I think it needs to be toned down, but maybe that'd be changed with color grading. I don't know, but I don't like it. He's Bilbo Saggins right there. Okay, Saggy McBaggy is a little bit loosey goosey. Yeah. So what do you guys think, Culture?
Well, I think actually, you may have just given an excuse for this version of the costume to be baggy. Perhaps he's doing some shots that require an awful lot of motion and movement. Do I think that it looks great? Well, the colors are fine. I'm not a fan of the chest emblem. I've been on record of saying that multiple times. It's not the S that I was looking for, but overall, yeah, it looks okay. I still don't like the position of the cape, but I don't get to choose. So otherwise, I think it's just fine. Oh, well, wow. Somebody have a GIF there? What is that? She's moving.
No, they just happen to take 3 pictures in sequential.
Oh, okay. All right. So, there's a chance that, Superman could be under arrest there or something. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't hate it.
Arrest?
I'm not a big fan of the crinkling. I wonder if some of that'll be worked out in CGI, but I don't know. You might be right, Nate, because the first image they released also had the crinkling in it. I think they're trying to... I don't know what exactly he's trying to do with the look, to be honest with you. But there's more people now that are convinced of what I was saying before, that there might be 2 suits in this movie. Because people have been really I know, but people have been ultra examining that first picture and now they're starting to think the same thing I did, and that is that they're not from the same suit.
But they do look the same.
The S looks very similar until you get really close, and it's not exactly the same. There are subtle differences, but it could very well be the same suit, and people are just, hoping them, now just hoping there's another suit. Overall, though, I don't dislike it. I'm not in the camp of most people where it's like, oh my God, freaking out about it. I'm more worried about the movie itself. I could give a shit if he looks like crap in the movie as long as the movie's good, right? Because Henry Cavill looked great as Superman, but the movie sucked. Okay, I would gladly trade one for the other. In fact, I like certain aspects of it more than others. I'm not going to lie about that. Like, I hate the collar. I don't like how the cape comes off. I don't like the busyness from the New 52 look. Those things bother me more than the crinkling. But what I do like...
What is this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the stuff from the New 52. I don't like that. It makes it too busy. I don't mind the S as much as Culture does, because I actually wasn't sure about it, but Kingdom Come is one of my favorite graphic novels, and I kind of like it better with the yellow than I do the black behind it. It kind of looks good. And it kind of reminds me sort of the original S from the Fleischer cartoons and such. That being said, I love the shorts. I love the belt. I love the fact that they made sure that he has that, because I hate when superheroes are running around in a onesie. It just looks so stupid. Again, we're trading off different things for other things here. I get it. I'm kind of splitting hairs, but the boots look fine. The rest of it, though, again, if he took off the busyness and the collar, fixed the collar, I think people would have less of a problem outside of the crinkling.
See, well, yeah, I mean, you might be right. Like, let people generally. I don't like the color. I'm not.
I don't mind the color. The color is exactly the color it should be, though.
No, I think it's no. So, like, you're right. You're right in some instances for some comics. Yeah, it is right. But like, I compare this to say, Superman in the animated Superman. It's not as bright. I like that version better. I like that color grading better. I like that suit color better. I think it's a much better. I think it translates.
To me, it's
better.
more in the Christopher Reeve color scheme here is what we're getting.
And
I like that, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's look. I hate this, and we know how this looks anyway because we've seen it in other. The thing about this is we have a reference point for James Gunn and superhero movies and the costumes that he makes his superheroes wear. Right? They are all a bit crap.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. Like the ones in Suicide Squad were kind of frumpy and dumpy.
Yeah. So I actually don't have a lot of confidence,
especially in Guardians 3. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like, we've got a reference point already. I actually don't think this will be fixed that much in post, if at all. Because there's no reference points for it to be fixed either. Normally they have to.
I can't disagree with you there, because I know a lot of people are trying to. I don't want to use the word cope, but they're like, well, maybe he will fix it in post and stuff like that. Maybe this is a stunt outfit and stuff.
How are you going to do that?
Well, there's things you can do, but at the same time, why? I'm more with you. Why? Like, if you want him to be in a skin tight suit, then just put him in a skin tight suit. I think James Gunn deliberately wants this cloth look. And remember, and this is the only reason I say this, is because remember, he kept posting Alex Ross art. And what is Alex Ross art most well known for? Well, it always looks like the superheroes are wearing some sort of cloth, right? He does really good with the cloth wrinkles and all that kind of stuff. And that, and the way the shorts are made, like those wrinkles in the shorts, those are there on purpose. That's not because he's just walking. That a lot of those are there like as a part of the design. Get what I'm getting at there? It looks like it to me.
I'm trying to crease.
Some of the creases there look like they're there naturally, not so much just because he's moving around.
Yeah, a bit difficult to see, really. I think that is because he's moving. To be fair, if you look here,
it could be, but it still looks like there's like creases that were like built into the mold.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I could be wrong.
I think that is. I think that's just because it's baggy. Look at that.
And he wants it to fold like that. I get it. But I don't like it. I'm not trying to come up with excuses for it. I'm just saying that I think that's what he's going for. I don't agree with it.
He does look like AI Henry Cavill, doesn't he? Which is what everyone says.
I'm not going to judge his. This is the thing, and a lot of people are judging a lot of this early on, and until I actually see him in motion, because I've seen a couple of videos that are literally like 3 or 4 second clips. And that doesn't give me anything until I actually see a trailer, see him in motion, hear him speak, kind of get an idea of what James has here. I'm not going to completely jump the gun on this because I gave Zack Snyder the same benefit of the doubt back in the day. I followed that movie for years. Right. And I even gave him the benefit of the doubt up through Batman v Superman because I'm like, all right, make me realize why Man of Steel makes sense. Well, it didn't. In this case, though, I'm hopeful for the story. I care less about what he looks like than if he's good in the part, if the story's good, if it actually feels like a Superman story. The thing I like that I've been seeing lately is the newspapers that have been leaking out. I don't know if you guys have seen those.
They're good.
What I like about that is you actually have Superman doing things that are heroic. He saves people from a collapsed building. He stops a runaway train and all that stuff. Yeah.
But with that, and what's important to note is actually you can see how the suit will look in motion. Well, not in motion, but in action. And actually it looks the bloody same because I zoomed in on the image of the train and it does look the bloody same. There's not really anything different, to be fair. Because that's a good telltale because that will be in canon as something which is, like him actually saving something. I mean, look, it is what it is. I'm just not a massive fan of it. I think it's fine, I guess, but it is what it is. I just think ultimately, if you're going to change it in post, well, one, you shouldn't have to do that. You should just have a suit which is good. But secondly,
James
like
could
there'll
pull
be
something
tracking
on
shots
us.
on it, and there's not.
And all the stuff that he's releasing, and the reason they're allowing these out is because maybe this is stuff from the earliest part of the movie. Maybe he does have a completely different outfit lately. Like, there's a lot of stuff we don't know about this movie yet.
Oh, yeah,
There's
maybe.
a lot of other
Yeah,
characters.
absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff that could be some time jumps of sorts that we don't know of. Like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
give him the benefit of the doubt, like I did with Zach. So
Yeah.
until then,
Well, we've got a super chat from Kalechi for $3. Says maybe it's an action scene, but if the suit was just a bit more tighter, it would be better. What's the point of a workout regime if it's not going to be seen? Christopher Reeves had more defined muscles in his suit compared to this. Looks kind of wimpy here. Yeah, I agree. I don't think you'll see many people arguing
well,
with you
Christopher
there, buddy.
Reeves was also wearing a skin tight leotard.
Yeah, I mean the guy he was Superman in full body. He didn't require more stuff. I mean, you everybody else other than Cavill has had to have more stuff added to him, including Affleck. So
Yeah, Cavill's is probably the most padded of all the suits, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes, he had the most padding in all of the suits. Because both Christopher Reeve and the Bryan Singer one had little to no padding at all. The only thing Chris had was shoulder.
Was that not just for the style that they were gonna
Potentially, like, but with Cavill's, like, he is padded all throughout the entire suit, even on the like that 6-pack we see. That's not his. That's padding.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, he has one, but
he has one
over it as well.
But they padded over it exactly. Yeah,
that's weird.
Like the entire suit is padded from top to bottom, and that's kind of maybe what's missing here is if you have that padding, because maybe Culture can speak on this, because they're using the same kind of material you would in like a puppet, right? So like when you do that, you put the padding underneath so you don't get the crinkle, so it looks more natural, like skin.
It's true.
And that's why they did that for Henry's suit. And maybe that's what it's missing here is it doesn't have the pad, because this feels like it's going straight from whatever that material is down to his skin, and it's a thick material. And instead of having the padding underneath it like they should, the foam padding, which Culture can probably expand upon a little bit if all, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you're right. When you build an animatronic, you build puppets, you do stuff like that, any kind of thing like that, that kind of physical attire.
Especially like where it bends.
Yeah. Yeah, you have an underlayment.
So you don't have the pinch.
Yeah, you have an underlayment where you don't have the padded material, and then you have the padded material. Then you have an like the top layer of the skin. And I used a shitload of contact cement whenever I did stuff like that. So, yeah, but it's
Also, on top of that as well is Clark Kent with that fuckboy hairstyle. Wow. He's rocking that.
Yeah, I don't get this. What kind of dead creature does he have on top of his head there?
In the UK, this is a hairstyle in the UK. I don't know if it's reached it across the pond, but it's a fuckboy.
Yeah, we have similar shit here.
You mean the K-pop? That's like a K-pop hairdo.
Yeah,
total douche.
I'll give this a 50-50. I give it a 50% for trying to look different from Superman because he does pull that off. But what the hell is with this hairstyle?
Mate, it looks like a ferret been chewed up by a lawnmower and spat out on his head. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, just to be fair to the previous picture,
no, don't be fair.
Yeah, no. I mean, this suit is also wrinkly.
Whatever.
No, what I'm talking about is I like his posture. I like that, in the facial expression with the glasses, he actually does look like a different person. And the hair is not helping though. Like you could have left the hair alone, just had it regular slicked back Clark Kent style.
It looks absolutely ridiculous. Because that's the point, is that the disguise wasn't the glasses. The disguise was his entire personality, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, especially Christopher Reeve was the one who really did that. Because you go back to like the George Reeves Superman, he doesn't really change his personality at all. He's just the same guy, basically. Even in some of the cartoons, it's not that much different outside of the voice. But Christopher Reeve basically came in and played Clark Gable as Clark Kent. And that really differentiated, because he even does, like, he'll slump down and he'll do like, and that's kind of what it looks like he's doing there. And then whenever he plays Superman, of course, it's all broad shouldered and And just
Well,
just that one scene when part 2 where he takes his glasses off and goes Lois, like he just transforms right there on scene from one person to another. If he can pull that off, that matters more to me than anything else.
Well, it's bloody terrible.
With Henry, like there was no real differentiation between the two characters at all.
No,
like they were really the same person throughout the entire film.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll see how this goes. But there you go. There you go. Superman with his fuckboy hairstyle. We will shuffle on now.